put you and the situation in the same sentence, because they just using imagination to get
Well,
to.
it's like it's giving the narrative, like it's saying this is like when all those videos were being made from all these different channels. You have to realize, like they were that although I was going through it and it was me, but everybody else had their own perspective on it. And, people don't necessarily like me. They didn't like, they called it my word salad and everything else. I've changed in the last year. After the last day, what happened was, and I don't tell the story very often, I was in another really bad place after a video had been posted about me. And I was in this room and I was writing out a letter to my kids. And I went, I need to get out of here. My son was the only one that was home. If I did anything, he would be the one that had to find me. And I didn't want that to happen. And so I knew I was in a really bad place. So I grabbed my holy little, and just so everybody knows, you have a Bible that's a better Bible. But I grabbed my holy Bible and I walked out of this house, and it sits next to my bedside every night. And I walked out of this house and I was on my way to go jump off a bridge. I was on my way to go jump off a bridge, and I was done.
Oh my God!
And like
God bless you.
that was the most serious one that got me. Like it was, I knew that I was in trouble. Like I knew that there was a couple days ahead where I was playing, like I was just being reckless and not necessarily caring about life. Like it was like, playing chicken with trucks on a 2-lane highway where I knew I could pass the car in front of me. But there, it was close, there was one closer, 2 close calls here or there. And I was like, ooh, that was close.
I smell the gasoline of that truck.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, that was close. And it was just being reckless. I wasn't necessarily doing anything that was bad per se. But I was just more or less, I knew my mind was not where it should be. And I kind of started to gather that a couple days prior to that. And this video had been posted and I literally lost it. It was the camel, the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Like, it was just like, I had finally had enough. So I went to my brother.
Who posted it? Army for Jesus?
Yeah. And I went to, and what happened was, and this is why I say I don't talk about this publicly very often, but I went to my brother's grave and I screamed at my brother in the ground, like just cried my eyes out for 20 minutes and just screamed, and I was mad and I was frustrated. And I was like, and I was close to my brother, and I was like, I need to go and be, where I some clarity. I wanted some clarity. And I couldn't, and I finally, I was not, and that didn't help. I mean, it just made it just made it not worse, but I was like, I need help. Like, I knew that I was going down a very dark path. Like at
that point you realize, yeah, I wanted to see my brother a little too bad.
Yeah. I was like,
I'm about to do this.
Yeah. This was, and I didn't want my parents to know. I didn't want my kids to know. I didn't want, this was something that I was like, I mean, I didn't know how to do it.
What make you change your mind? Your kids, family, God.
Actually, I will tell you, it was a couple of things, and this is where this is where the hair will stand up on the back of your on the back of your neck.
I've been having goosebumps since like the whole.
And so I was walking away from, I was in my phone rang, and a person called me out of the blue, and I'm not going to say names because you know who he is. He called me out of the blue and said, "What's going on?" And I went, and I mean, he knows who he is, and we've talked about this publicly on his channel, but I don't do that.
No, you're good. You're good.
And so I said, and he goes, "I don't know why I was told to call you. I don't know why I was supposed to call you, but something just hit me that I needed to call you." And he, at that point in time, had probably maybe once maybe once had talked to me on my cell phone. Like this was not a messenger call. This was not a Discord call. This was not a third party call. This was to my cell phone,
Right.
which is and anybody that knows in YouTube land, your cell phone and your phone number is your private information. Like that, like you don't like, if you don't give out, you don't give out your cell phone. Like you don't just give out your cell phone to just anybody. These are people I trusted wholeheartedly. And this is woman. Anyway, so he called me and said, what's going on? I told him where I was at and he goes, dude, I don't know. He was like, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I don't, you need help. Like you are in a bad way right now. So I walked into I went right to my doctor's office because I was like, I need to go talk to my psychologist. Like that's where or a therapist. I was like psychologist, therapist, someone that could talk to me right now because I need to be numb. Like so I went into my psychologist, and I said, is so-and-so here? And they said, and I was bowl full of tears. I mean, I was at it was death walking is what I was. I was death walking, in all intents and purposes called. And so this lady out of nowhere, I have no idea who she is. Don't know who this lady was. I don't know where she came from. And she just walked up right next to me and said, I don't know what you're going through, honey. But I'm going to pray for you. And she did a prayer for me in the office right then and there.
Oh my God.
And we prayed and I was like, and then the doctor came out or the nurse came out or whatever, the lady that went to go see my psychologist said he won't be available. It was like 11 o'clock. And she's like, he won't be available till 1:30. And I went, I can't, nope. Cannot sit in this office. I will I will tear it down. Like I will, if you put me in a room right now, it's going to be destroyed. The anger that was inside of me, the sadness that was inside, I was ready to I had no control over anything. I could have just sat there. When I say that they would have been destroyed, I could have sat in the corner, and just held been in a ball in the corner and cried for an hour and a half, for 3 hours straight, which everybody would have been checking on me and everything else going, I don't know what to do with her. And so I said, I can't do this. And I turned around and I walked out the door. The nurse followed me to my car or not all the way out to my car, but outside the door to the walkway. And I turned, you know how they say when you look back and you see to see who's behind you, I'd look back and she was standing right behind me coming out the door, and her face just went, I don't know if I'm going to see this woman again. Like that's what was on her face. Like this woman, I don't know what I can do. Like her hands were tied. She couldn't see me. The doctor couldn't see me until 1:30. And so, and I wasn't a danger to anybody else. I wasn't a danger to myself. They didn't think at the time. They knew something was wrong. They just didn't know what. And so right then I got back in my car and I drove to the bridge and I pulled up and there was families that were taking pictures at the bridge. And I went, fuck.
That was God working.
I was like, fuck, I can't do this. And so right then and there, I called a friend, and I talked to a friend for a few hours until 5 o'clock. So I talked to her for 5 hours, and we talked about obviously we talked about the case, but we talked, and she just wanted to get me back in my brain, like to come back to reality. And just so we talked about my kids, we talked about life, we talked about I don't remember verbatim the conversation. I was chain smoking. It was a big deal. And so anyway, she goes, and so she got dark and my son was calling me at this point in time saying, what's going on? Where are you? Are you okay? What can I do? Because everybody had said, follow her. They'd called Daisy. I called Daisy and I told Daisy, I don't want you to call Gaga and Papa. I don't want any, I just need, I'm in a bad place. If you hear anything, let it go. Just don't contact me. And she's like, I don't even know what's going on. So she happened to look up and found the video that just kind of changed everything. And my daughter was like, oh, now at least I know what what my mom is struggling with right now and where she's at. And so anyway, long story short, my doctor, as soon as I hanged up the phone, talking to my friend,